Hi love bugs, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna do something a little different today, okay? I want to do some steamy reads, hot in July reads, because it's summertime, and if you're anything like me, I love digging into a good romance any time of year, but especially when the weather outside is just atrociously hot. I don't know, I wanna stay in, I wanna stay cool. And so I have a few books, series that I think would fit this prompt so well. Okay, like I was saying, it's July and it is atrociously hot in the Midwest. So I was thinking, what better way to give you some book recommendations for a little bit of a steaminess. All right, so I split up the categories into certain love genres, because you could dive into this genre, and I split it up a little bit differently. So let me look at my notes. I did a toxic love, I did a dark romance, I did just a steamy sports romance. I also did, for me, a sweet romance. Everything is still pretty much open door. It's just different variations and different shades of the open door, but everything has a little bit of spice to it. It just ranges. So when I say like a sweet love, it is like, it still gives you those little bedroom scenes, but it's not as full in your face, completely detailed. And to me, I'll get into the sweet one because I know it could be a little bit, I guess, to someone's definition of sweet, right? Everyone has different kind of definitions, but it's definitely not PG, or it's definitely not G-rated. Just throwing that out there. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. My first book series I want to talk about is a toxic love. I don't know what it is. It's a bad boy situation, and that is the After series by Anna Todd. Now you follow Tessa and Hardin, and she is in the first year of college, kind of doesn't know anyone there, and it has been very sheltered. He is the bad boy. He's been to the school for, I said, he's a little bit older than her, a few years older, I would say, and he just has a playboy type reputation, and they kind of get into this mix, as you can say, a relationship. Obviously it's a book series and it goes highs and lows, love triangles. I mean, it deals with everything. It is that very addicting but yet toxic, and that, you know, as an adult it's toxic, but it's just the best type of read for that title. It is toxic, and you love to hate him, hate to love him, and you're just like, what are you doing? And it's just a roller coaster that I needed. And I went through these book series so fast, and I bought the copies. I just enjoyed them. Like, I did. I dived into them. I was like, what are we thinking? I went through an emotional roller coaster with this book, and super easy to follow, easy to read. And I don't know. I can't say enough about this. I do. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I needed a little bit of toxic in my reading life. Who knows? I needed a bad boy in my life, apparently, in the between the pages, and that's where he needs to stay. Okay. This is what I'm going to say. Saddle up. My next read is the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver. So you have Flawless, Powerless, Fearless, Hopeless. Okay, so it all centers on in this small town based on this farm, and you have all these friends, brothers, cowboys. They're every story is a different guy. My favorite's the first two. One's a rodeo star, and that he has an assistant because his image is really bad. They tie him to an assistant, and obviously there's sparks there. My second one is his, I believe it's his older brother, and he needs a nanny for this summer. I love the other ones too, but those are my top two that I really enjoyed. And it's very spicy. It's very Western. It's very cowboy. It's very, you're dealing with cowboys. I'm just going to say that. They're rowdy in all the best ways, and they rope you in from the first page, and it is just enticing. Even so, I kind of want the dad's story because he's a widow, and I would love to have him get a second chance. And I just see Kevin Costner as him, and I don't know, something about that man. Anyway, moving on. So my next book is a dark romance, and I say dark romance because it is just a little bit on the darker side, and that is, I've only read the first one, but I'm excited for the rest of the series. But it is Hooked by Emily McIntyre, and it is a fairy tale reimagining, and this one is about Hook, and it gives you the question, what if Hook wasn't the bad guy? What if it was Peter Pan? And what would happen if Wendy was Peter's daughter and got into a relationship with Hook? And it is such a reimagining, and I loved it. I loved the little breadcrumbs that you get throughout the book, the little, I would say, hidden, I don't want to say Mickey's because it's a dark romance book, but you know what I mean, the little hidden just things, all clues all throughout. And then also it's like, just, he is just the best perfect male character. I think it's a perfect first start of the book series is starting with Hook, because what if he wasn't the bad guy? And I'm just like, I don't know, it hooked me in, and I was obsessed. So my heartbreak love was Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino, and it's a hate love story is how it's premised. And Matt and Grace met in college and start this romance. For whatever reason, they separate. 15 years passes. They come back around into each other's lives. And it tears your heart out and breaks it into a million pieces, and then tries to put it back into your body. And it is just a page turner. It is completely had me obsessed, and I loved it. Okay, let's get into this. My sweet romance is Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Simone. Okay, so you have Ari and you have Russ, and they work at a news station. He is the sportsman, she is the weather girl, and it is chocked full of just sweetness, of quirkiness, of a little bit of zaniness. You really get a good character development, and also it is a slow burn, but it does have a little bit of steam. Not enough to start a hurricane, not enough to start a tornado or anything, but just enough for a good little heavy drizzle, I would say. Okay, so my last one. Put on your skates. Let's tie them up. Let's get on the ice, because we need some ice to cool us down from all this heat. And my last book series recommendation is going to be the Vancouver Agitator series by Megan Quinn. You have Kiss and Don't Tell. You have These Three Little Words. You have Right Man, Right Time. You also have He's Not My Type, So This Is War. You have a 5-book punch to the gut right up against the baseboards. And let me tell you, every man has a story. Every player on the team is just... I thought the first one was great. Then it hit me with the second one. It is literally just hit after hit after hit after hit. I am going to say I had a favorite, and I think player, and I think that really did my downfall, because once I got to his book, it kind of fell flat for me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you who my favorite player was, but I was waiting for this man's story. And when I got to that man's story, I was a little upset about it. But that's okay. Because I had an idea of who he was in my head. And it to me, I think I did myself an injustice. But that's for me to deal with. But I'm telling you, these hockey boys, I mean, you get all the adventures, you get all the steam, you get a lot of situations. It is, I mean, there's not enough time. That's why there's 5 books. It is the amount of just steam would melt any ice rink. Let me tell you. And it had me, I've never wanted to go on ice. I am extremely clumsy. But you bet your bottom dollar this girl would be skating all over that ice for any amount of these stories. And I'm so excited that she wrote this. I'm so excited that it's out there in the world. And I hope that at least with one of these, you guys will find some recommendations. I loved them. They fit their purpose. They were great reads, all of them. And I'm going to wrap this up. I hope that you will find something super great to read in these selections. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon.